Oh, hi there, everybody. Back out in the swamps again. Your usual pine foresty stuff again. Wanted to come back out because all of the Sarracenia are starting to color up. Look at that guy. That's nice. Like a peachy copper, whatever you call that. And they'll get even darker as the season goes on. And some of them get stripes on them, but a lot of them have like this normal solid copper top. Cool, see what else we can find. Here's another cute one. We got Viola lanceolata, the little bog violets. And you'll kind of see these guys everywhere around areas where you see carnivorous plants and stuff. I almost see them more often than you see anything carnivorous. And got your Sarracenia minor growing up out of the sphagnum moss. Yep. Now here we got a real big guy, compared to the size of my hand. And this is the best time of year to see these guys because they're also putting up their flowers all over the place. So you get to see the first run of nice pictures with the flowers. Very cute. And here we got blowing in the wind a species of erigeron. It's one of the more common little wildflowers you see around here. Definitely tell it's in the sunflower family. And I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's the most beautiful pale powder purple color. Just like barely purple. They almost look like they glow, but the camera's not doing it justice. Cute, like little purple daisies. I tell you what, April's such a nice time of year around here before it starts raining every single day. Yeah. Oh, look down here, these guys are showing off. Yeah. Refer to the last video, or the first video I made, on how these guys get pollinated. So I don't feel like running through that whole spiel again. Now I visit this spot every single year, and there's definitely been more pictures before, but this year are some of the biggest. That's a big guy. That's a nice shot. This one's got some nice veining to it. It's probably going to be nice when it colors up. Alright, see what else we can find. So here's the flower on Drosera capillaris. You gotta only be out here like it only opens for like maybe an hour a day. Really tiny little guy. And these guys they self-seed, so they spread like weeds. And let's see. There's his little rosette hiding down there in the grass. Check out down here, we got this big overachiever coming up out of the grass. And that is a big Sarracenia minor picture. Look at that compared to my hand. Giving Okefenokee Giant a run for its money. Not like a Mountain Dew can in the bog, do the dew! Yeah! Here we got another nice little clump. And he's got that nice striped pattern on his lid. Lots of little guys coming up below him. I love this species because it kind of always looks like they're laughing at you. Right? This little mouth's like, laughing at you. Look, they're having a little conversation. You want to eat the bugs? Yeah, I want to eat the bugs. Alright, I'll stop being corny. Here's a nice little clump. And here we got a species of polygala. I usually see the orange ones. The yellow ones, I guess, a little bit more rare. Don't know the exact species name. No, it's polygala though. The orange one they call a swamp Cheeto because it looks like little Cheetos coming up out of the ground. Let's see if I can show you one of those. Here's that plant I was talking about. This is Polygala lutea, or they call it the swamp Cheeto. Well, yeah, it looks like a little puffy Cheeto. That yellow one before was Polygala nana. Sorry for me not knowing the name because I was too lazy to Google the information, which I'm on the phone anyway, so there's no excuse. Oh, cool, there's the little Drosera bloom spike coming up in the middle of them. But yeah, I see these guys all the time. Yet again, a rare, real common bog wildflower. Nice color though. I like them. Yep, Polygala nana. Oh no, sorry, Polygala lutea. The yellow one's Polygala nana. So here we are on the side of the road in a ditch, and I found another cool plant. They call this guy the lizard's tail. Isn't that a weird thing? And the Latin name for this is Sororus cernus. Not an easy one to pronounce. But it's pretty cool. I mean, you can see how the flowers start to open down at the bottom and then all the way out to the tip. Yeah, and it does kind of look like a lizard's tail. Here's one with more of the flowers open. Now, that's pretty cool. I like how the Latin name too, you could tell, has something to do with lizards. Sororus. Nice foliage too. Alright, sorry if you hear a bunch of noise. I am like right on the side of the highway here. But that's usually one of the best places to find these guys. No bog trip is complete without a nice terrestrial orchid. This is a species in the genus Speranthus. Now, they're all really hard to tell apart because they kind of all look the same. But just the way that thing flowers is awesome. That spiral of flowers. Now, he's just starting to open, so he's not really showing his whole thing right now. And yeah, this is right next to a memorial for someone that died on the highway. Very sad. You know, watch where you're driving. Yeah. There's a lot of different Spiranthes in Florida. The only one I'm really good at telling apart is Spiranthes precox because it has green on the lip. Let's see if I can get you in there a little bit closer. And I mean, once you get a really good lens on these guys, they're very beautiful. Like, they almost have like a crystalline structure to their petals. Looks like glass almost. Yeah, Spiranthes. Maybe Vernalis, I'm thinking. Alright, looks like it's gonna probably rain pretty soon. That'll be fun. But Got a cool little site down here. All these little Drosera capillaris growing out of that red sphagnum moss. Yeah, that's cool. I noticed with this species, they kind of like to grow in these like disturbed ruts, you see? And they'll all be hugging the edge of the disturbed little rut. Not sunny enough for those flowers to be open. And right here, got a species of terrestrial utricularia. That's Utricularia subulata, growing out of the sphagnum with more sundews. Like how you can see all the old burn marks on all the trees around here. There was a huge fire here in the late 90s. On this side of the road's all trees that survived. On the other side of the road is all planted stuff in rows. And down here is another Drosera capillaris, and caught this one in flower again, which is always nice. And a little teeny tiny flower. Yet again, you know, only stays open for an hour or so in the morning. And all the way down here is that little leaf rosette. This is one of those long petioled forms that we saw in the other video. Here's another one that's got 2 flowers open. Cute little things. Very common sundew species, but I never get tired of seeing them. Down here we got a species of Rexia. And Rexia is a very common bog, wetland wildflower here in Florida. There's a lot of different species. I'm really no good at telling them apart. But cool thing about this one is usually when I see them, they're all like a solid neon pink. And this one's like a lighter pink and has those darker pink, you know, veins going through it. Looks real different. I'll have to look that up later to see exactly what that is, but yeah. Rexia. Another super common bog plant, but always nice to see. Now we got some more roadside Sarracenia action here. Look at that guy. Yep. He's got 3 flowers. And you can see his old busted up pictures from last year. There's a native moth to Florida called Zira or Zyra. And the Sarracenia are a host plant for this moth. The moth climbs up in the pitcher, and then he walls off the inside of the pitcher with some webbing so nothing else could fit down there. And then he basically eats the pitcher from the inside out. And I've seen, you know, this activity of this moth from Central Florida on up to the Panhandle, where you see the bigger, more impressive species grow. But yeah, that's you know, letting you know that carnivorous plants aren't safe from being eaten by bugs themselves. Pretty interesting. I'm always intrigued when I see trees growing like this. Like, what happened there? It's your basic longleaf pine, and you know, usually they're straight as an arrow. I guess that guy probably got planted, and the forestry guy accidentally ran it back over with his truck, and he grew all bonsai style. It's pretty cool. sometimes you go down to the Everglades and you see trees like this, and supposedly they're ways to mark pathways by Native Americans and such. But not this one. Way too young, and it's right in the planting line, so yeah, that got ran over by a truck. But it's still cool. Another plant you see a lot in the bogs around here is Vicinium, or these wild blueberries. Now these guys aren't ripe yet, but when they are, they're rather delicious. And they got nice foliage too. They turn all red and orange. Yeah, you can see them all over here. And I'm guessing this is what they look like when they mature and go to seed. That's pretty cool. So yeah, you know, little treat to snack on when you're bogging in the right time of year. Down here we got a nice little thick cluster of Pinguicula pumila. They're starting to go out of flower for the season. Most of these flower stalks got the little seed pods on them. But this kind of shows you that unless these things are in flower, they're really hard to find. Like, look down there. You can't really see the rosettes at all. You gotta go right down in there. And then, you know, it even looks like the rosette's dying off. So that's why these guys have like they act more like an annual. Like this little rosette will be dead probably after these seeds pop off, and then there'll be, you know, 1,000 more little pings in this area come next year. And here we have a species of mimosa. We got native mimosas and we got invasive mimosas here in Florida. I'm thinking, oh, look at that cool grasshopper. He's hanging out. I'm thinking this is probably the native one, or one of the native ones, being that it has these nasty recurved spines all over it. Look at that. It will tear you up. But yeah, these guys are famous because they're one of the sensitive plants. So if you touch one of these leaves, like so, he closes them up on you. Pretty cool. Mimosa pudica is sold all over the world basically as a curiosity. But yeah, a lot of native mimosas too. Cute little flower, little pink pom-pom thing. Now here in a little roadside seep that within a couple of months is going to be 3 feet deep of water. This is a pretty cool little flower here. This is Poncidaria cordata. Another great aquatic wildflower here in Florida. Look at that color on him, that's beautiful. All little fuzzy little trichomes all over the buds that haven't opened yet. And I scared away a bunch of butterflies trying to get over here, so I'm guessing it's a pretty good nectar source. Yeah, Poncidaria cordata. Pretty. I like anything that's purple or blue. It always catches my eye. If I was a bee or a butterfly, yeah, I'd visit this. So here I am standing out in the water with the alligators and the water moccasins. Tell you what, man, botanizing in Florida, you always got to bring some swamp boots, because a lot of times you got to get wet to see something really cool. And here we got something really cool. We saw these in another video, but not this many of them. This is Utricularia purpurea. Another purple flowered utricularia. My mind is blown by how many different kinds of utricularia you get in Florida. There's a lot of them. Just popping right out of the swampy muck. And yet again, these guys are eating microscopic organisms underneath the water. Water fleas and mosquito larvae. And it's just a pretty cool area because I don't think I've ever seen this many of them in one spot. There's utricularia in the area, if you could say. And it feels like I'm walking in straight up quicksand here. Don't mind if you hear me scream and fall over. It'll make the video a lot more interesting. Man, they're just all over this area. Yep. Utricularia purpurea. Cool. Check out this white peacock butterfly. Oh, gone. Now here we got ourselves a fine specimen. Starting to color up nice. Nice veination. Nice windows. Nice flower. And it's sprouting straight out of a cypress knee, which is always cool. And this cypress knee is loaded with carnivores. And they're just kind of all in the grass around here. Just hanging out, eating bugs. Yep, good old Sarracenia minor. The most underrated Sarracenia in my opinion. Another big one down here. Yep. Hear the bullfrogs? Huh. Yeah, just hiding in the overgrown grass here. And this guy's, God, probably almost 2 feet, 1.5 feet, easy. And that's big for Sarracenia minor around here. Nice, nice, nice. I like him. Standing here right next to the water again, right next to an alligator slide. So yet again, if you see teeth and screaming and that's the end of the video, be a lot more interesting. But here we got a patch of these Sarracenia minor with more of that the coloration that they get when they get a lot of sun. Kind of why they get the some people call them copper tops, even though that's also a term for a variety of Sarracenia flava. But real nice though. They get bigger when they have a little bit of shade, but they always have much, much better coloration in the sun. And yet again, those beautiful yellow flowers. Just a very, very special, very gorgeous plant. Now this whole little roadside pond is just full of Utricularia purpurea and water lilies. There's always a great combination. There's your little utricularia coming up in between the water lily. And bam! Love these things. Definitely a special little area. A stinky little area, but a special one. I'm gonna be quiet so I don't scare him away. This is a white peacock butterfly. Come on, show me them wings again. Come on. Do it. No, he's not cooperating. Here we got another cute roadside find. Florida's got a lot of native salvias. This one's Salvia utricifolia. I'm guessing they named it that because the flower kind of looks like a utricularia. And yeah, I mean they're right. Look at that. The huge lip. Almost looks similar to a pea flower too. Definitely see how it got that name. Salvia utricifolia or utricifolia. Look at all the trichomes on those unopened buds. And they seem to be like varying shades of color too. Like as you go along, you'll find some that are a little lighter. Yeah, another cute wetland wildflower, Salvia utricifolia. Now it just so happens that ditches are the best place to look for carnivorous plants around here, because right on the edge of the ditch, growing basically vertically, will be all these colonies of Drosera capillaris. And they just love this recently disturbed, vertical kind of growth pattern. Like anywhere where you see tire tracks or where someone digs out a ditch, you'll get stuff like this. I guess it's just because it opens up the land, takes out all the competing stuff that's above them. Yeah, it's just a line of sphagnum and sundews. And then every now and then you'll get good old Sarracenia minor coming right out of the sphagnum. Lovely. So here we are on the side of the highway. I'm gonna have to talk really loud because of the car noise and stuff. But you want to see something that'll make you puke? Look at that. Look at all that land clearance. And I have to talk over the water pump that's currently pumping out all the water out of the wetland and into this here ditch. The whole that's the Florida menu is drain the swamp, fill it with concrete, and build houses. Now, personally, there's nothing more that makes me want to puke than seeing this. Like, every time I see this, it just makes me want to pull over and, gouge out my eyes. Just makes my eyes bleed. It's absolutely terrible. Now, imagine how much stuff that they mowed down to build this in this pristine mesic pine land. And, here comes the truck with the concrete pipes. Yeah, this is all going to be crappy houses that all look the same. Absolutely unnecessary. They're going to be all looking the same, have their little matching lawns, and they live their little Florida lives. they'll probably name it something like shady pine, or after some sort of plant that they tore down to build this place. But yeah, absolutely fucking sickening. What's going on the other side of the road too? Probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of new houses here. And this, man, it's every time you go around another corner you see this happening. Man, this overpopulation is something, I'll tell you what. Like, why can't you just have like one kid or no kids, or just like adopt, for fuck's sake? Like, the earth is a finite resource. You just can't keep stripping and building and stripping and building and stripping and building. Oh God. Yeah, we're a disgusting species, and yeah, hopefully we'll go extinct very soon to stop destroying the earth. I mean, God, it's gross. Can't stand it. Gone now. Alright, we got another roadside find here, so excuse the noise. We got a native species of cactus here, Opuntia stricta, with a couple of beetles running around in there doing some pollinating dance. That's pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of people don't expect to associate cactus with Florida, but there's actually a lot of species that grow in Florida, and some of them are endemic. Like, especially when you get down to the Keys, there's a lot of different cactuses. But yeah, these guys are beautiful. Gorgeous yellow flower. It's an Opuntia, so you got all those glaucids and nasty thorns. This thing will definitely let you know if you touch it in the wrong way. So yeah, Opuntia stricta. And up here we got even more land clearance. Look at all that, isn't that great? You know what's coming. Bunch of stupid houses. Oh, it'll probably be a golf course. Probably a golf course for the stupid houses, because you know you gotta have the golf course. Life in Florida is not complete without the golf course. Fuck. And here we have some lovely thistles blooming. There's a lot of different thistle species in Florida, so I have no idea which one this is. But man, look at those spines. Oh God. And it's always fun being around these guys too, because butterflies go absolutely crazy for them. Like I just scared away a bunch of swallowtail butterflies that were getting their feed on. Hopefully they'll come back. But yeah, always nice to see a nice thistle. And they can get huge too. I mean, some thistles I've seen in Florida are, 6-7 feet tall. Oh, there's a beetle in there. Just head buried in there, look like he's asleep. What are you doing, dude? Probably eating the flower. Right, yeah, cool. Thistles. Here's a cool little guy. This beetle is totally pretending to be a wasp. Like, look at that pattern. He looks like a little yellow jacket or something like that. Not at all. It's a little beetle. But yeah, that mimicry is on point. Looks like a little wasp. Mimicry is amazing to me. Like, how does he know to look like a wasp? Probably works for him, though. Cool. Here's one of those swallowtail butterflies that I scared off. Look at him. He's having the time of his life in there. Get all that nectar, dude. Get it. Beautiful. Lots of butterfly diversity in Florida, too. Oh, he's gone. So yeah, this video is mainly on Sarracenia minor. Like I said before, one of the more underrated Sarracenia species. All the attention goes to the big guys like Flava and Leucophylla because they're way prettier, but I don't know, this guy has like a special prehistoric looking look to him. And they're all over this area. Just lining the ditches. Here's the activity of that Zyra moth. See, now he's inside there right now, eating this Sarracenia picture from the inside out. Yeah, he's down in there somewhere. And basically everywhere where I see Sarracenia in the wild, you see evidence of this moth. This guy. Nice veiny lid. Now here we got a really big patch of these guys. Now this is probably one big interconnected rhizome that goes from there all the way on over to there. And you know, these are a pretty slow growing plant. So when you see a patch this big, that's easily probably a 20-year-old plant, if not older. Here we got a patch of Sarracenia that is growing directly out of a dead log. That's pretty cool. You don't see that too often. Like up out of the water line, right into the log. Super cool. And here we got a Drosera capillaris little colony growing right out of a log, about 10 feet away from where that Sarracenia was. That's really cool. Alright, this is probably the last clump I'll sit here and video for you guys. But man, it never gets old. Seeing Sarracenia in bloom. Their first good spring pictures coming up. It's just awesome. Really one of the better parts about living in Florida. I mean, there's a lot of bad parts about living in Florida. Mostly to do with the people, you know. Lots of retirees with old outdated racist ideas. And, you know, the other locals are either NASCAR worshiping psychos or Percocet zombies and just generally terrible people. But the flora and the fauna of the great state of Florida is unmatched. So yeah, probably see you guys again soon. Yep, Sarracenia minor and friends. Goodbye.